You're now the attorney-in-fact for the state name.
No, sir, Mr. Thompson, you know I don't put up with any of that. You understand?
Right.
Listen to me.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
You understand I'm not going to put up with that?
Yes, sir.
Not anything like that. You understand? Do you understand me?
Yes.
There's not going to be any private citizen, sovereign citizen, any of that. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're before the court today for your affidavit of violation of probation. You filed a bunch of stuff that doesn't make any sense. I've denied most of it. I'm going to probably deny the rest of it.
Really?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Absolutely.
I got some education to go, huh?
Sir?
So I've got some education to go.
Yes, sir. You're here today you got a new law violation of driving my license suspended or revoked. You don't want to have an attorney appointed to represent you?
No, sir.
Are you sure?
But that's the thing is, I've never even been pulled over. I don't know how I got a license or a warrant or anything. If haven't been pulled over in more than a year, any emergency contact. I went to go pick up a records request and they gave me a warrant instead of the records.
Do y'all know anything about this?
As to the new law.
Do you have a driver's license?
No,
Don't answer that. I shouldn't ask that question.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Strike that from the record. I won't do that if you won't do any other mess. I won't ask you that question.
Buckle up, guys. Today we are going to watch a defendant try to outsmart a trained officer on the stand. He pushes hard on the smell of marijuana, lane drifting, and missing dashcam footage, hoping to create cracks in the stop. But every question he fires only brings firmer answers from the officer, tightening the case instead of loosening it.
But you transfer that to.
Just filed. I just filed in the court file.
I tried to, and they wouldn't accept it.
All right. Was he arrested? Is there a new arrest for driving license suspended or revoked? State?
Yes, there was a bench warrant issued on 1/23/24 that executed 1/29/24.
Said I was just doing a records request and had an agreed upon date to pick it up. Went up there to pick it up and gave me a warrant. So the records are requested.
I tell you what, I'm gonna let y'all
Return
do that. Listen, I'm gonna leave him on probation. I'm gonna set this for preliminary on April. What's that April date?
April 17th.
April 17th. I'm gonna let him take care of that in county court and see what happens. Okay?
Thank you.
And I think that's the only violation he had.
Yes, sir.
Keep doing what you're doing on this, and then we'll see you back in April, and you can take care of that in county court. Okay?
Right. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Sign a notice.
Here the tone shifts as the defendant digs deeper into paperwork and affidavit details, trying to expose inconsistencies. But the officer stays steady, explaining protocol and why certain details belong in reports, not complaints. The courtroom energy feels tense, and you can sense the judge waiting to see whether any of this actually matters.
The beneficiary, said Alexander, a human being.
Mr. Alexander, I don't accept any of that. If you want to state your name, state your name. If you don't, that's fine.
I'm Cedric Alexander, the beneficiary, sir.
No, sir, I don't. The beneficiary doesn't mean anything to me. Says, are you Cedric Alexander?
I'm a human being, Cedric Alexander, not the corporation.
What don't be held with that?
I'm a human being, not a participant.
On your first appearance, I'm going to appoint the office of public defender. You've got a failure to appear on a misdemeanors. I have ordered to be held without bond on that. I'm going to leave that as it is. You got a possession of methamphetamine and see, that might be all the same thing. Yeah. You just got a failure to appear.
The officer didn't even come and do depositions.
You've got to drive my license suspended or revoked. I'm gonna find there's probable cause. I'm gonna set. That's a third degree felony plus 5 years Florida Department of Corrections. $5,000. I am going to set a $5,000 bond. I'll see you March 11th at 9 o'clock. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
All right, go ahead and step out.
In this moment, the defendant makes his big push, insisting the stop had no lawful foundation. The judge listens carefully, but the argument collapses fast. With a calm tone, the judge rules probable cause exists and moves the case forward. It's a classic courtroom beat where confidence meets reality and reality wins.
Adversarial hearing, you're representing yourself. You know, at any point in time, you can ask an attorney to be appointed to represent you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you still wish to represent yourself?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. You can call your first witness.
State calls officer Zip.
Richard Ziff.
Just swear the witness in.
Promise with the testimony about is the truth, nothing but the truth to help you God.
I do.
Can you state your name for the record, please?
Richard Ziff,
Where are you employed?
Panel City Police Department.
Were you working in November of 2023?
I was.
On November 11th, 2023, did you have occasion to come in contact with defendant Josiah Beecham?
I was.
How did you come in contact with him?
It was an investigated stop. Mr. Beecham's vehicle was having a hard time maintaining its lane. I conducted a traffic stop on the vehicle. Vehicle drove over the curb. Immediately when I stopped the vehicle, I can smell marijuana coming from within the vehicle while still sitting inside my own vehicle. As I got closer to the vehicle, I can smell the marijuana getting stronger. When I made contact with Mr. Beecham in the driver's seat, I informed him the nature of the stop, also told him I smelled marijuana in the vehicle. At that point, Mr. Beecham was saying I was violating the Treaty of Florida, making other statements that he was identify himself. He refused to identify himself. He began to call 911 and requested a Bay County deputy respond to the scene because he refused to cooperate with me.
Officer Ziff, at some point, based on the smell of marijuana, did you search the vehicle and Mr. Beecham's person?
I did.
During that search, did you locate anything of note, of significance?
We found trafficking amounts of controlled substances. I believe we were, one of them tested positive for cocaine. There was marijuana and we believe fentanyl.
Did you find any firearms during the search?
There was a firearm located underneath the driver's seat that Mr. Beecham's.
Now the case shifts to a new courtroom battle as a trial begins. The judge deals with confusion over whether the defendant wants to represent himself, while the prosecution launches a motion to block sovereign-style arguments. Stakes rise instantly because this ruling will determine what the jury can or cannot hear.
Beecham,
We did.
did you find out whether he had been previously convicted of any felonies?
He was on inmate release status for a felony. I believe the same charges.
No, that's all my questions at this time.
Mr. Beecham, any questions?
Yes. So did I have a passenger in the car with me at the time?
You did.
Upon you saying you smelled the smell of marijuana, did I say that I smoked hemp?
You did admit to it.
I said I smoked hemp, right?
You said you smoked marijuana.
Sir, did you have on a body cam?
I did.
And okay, thank you, Your Honor. So I said, so your body cam was on at the time, and did you get any competent basis on the traffic stop as far as like a recording of that video?
I don't have a dash cam.
You don't have a dash cam in your car?
We don't have dash cams in Panama State Police cars.
It's cool. And that was failing to maintain the lane. Okay, was it any other traffic on the road?
You were the only vehicle.
Okay, and how long were you behind me before you actually pulled me over?
I was behind you about 2 blocks, watched you drift over the center line several times.
Several times, drift off the line. Did you have to catch up to me? You know, I have a dash cam and rear view cam. I'm probably gonna introduce to what you call it. Did you actually have to catch up to my vehicle, or?
I did not have to catch up that much. I was right behind you.
I'm saying that the stretch of the road was we was traveling on Beach Drive. That's right.
Yes.
And you were behind me the entire stretch of Beach Drive.
No, I was behind you by Balboa.
By Balboa is when you got behind me. Okay, and so when did you notify me or the passenger about any other drugs or gun?
Immediately.
Immediately. And what was said about the drugs or gun? What did the passenger say?
The gun was found after you were already detained. We searched the vehicle and it was underneath your seat.
Okay, and was the vehicle registered to me?
Vehicle was registered to your girlfriend.
Okay. And so where were the drugs or anything found in the vehicle?
You had drugs in your pocket. And there's also drugs in the back seat behind your seat.
And you found the drugs?
I found a bag of white substance in your front pocket.
What about any vehicles in the car?
There was a bag in behind the driver's seat that had several other bags that were wrapped in a clear plastic baggies that was behind your seat.
Okay, and so what did you question the passenger on?
That would be my partners who questioned the passenger. I questioned you.
Yes, and what did I admit to any of the drugs?
You refused to talk to me other than saying I was violating the Treaty of Florida.
Exactly. And so you notified me on drugs being found in the car on the scene, you're saying?
Everything was notified to you. I tried reading you implied consent. You refused to actually listen to me. You kept on saying I was violating the Treaty of Florida and you.
Yeah, I was saying you was violating the constitutional rights as well of unreasonable search.
This part is pure tension. The defense tries to argue the legitimacy of an unusual tag, but the judge isn't having it. He shuts down the idea before it gains traction, reminding everyone that anything not issued by the state isn't a legal tag. The defense keeps fighting, but the judge's stance is stone solid and unmovable.
Direct quote on why you actually stopped the vehicle.
His all-in-body came out.
Okay. And so you never had a conversation with the passenger?
I was mostly talking to you and searching the vehicle. I believe my sergeants wanted to talk to Mr. Wheeler.
Okay, and so you saying your passengers, your other one of your partners found the drugs that was actually in the car?
And I found drugs in the vehicle.
Oh, you found the drugs in the vehicle?
Yes.
Behind the driver's seat, you're saying?
And the objection. Ask your next question.
Okay. And you did already admit that I said I admitted to smoking hemp. Okay. And your vehicle is not, you say they don't got dash cams. Okay. So at the time, did you have a sight on the passenger and the driver at the whole time?
I was right there behind the A pillar or B pillar.
What was that, sir?
I was there the entire time talking to you.
No, okay. So when you extracted me out the car, did you have eyes on the passenger at that time?
After I removed you from the car, I did not have eyes on the passenger, just you.
Okay, cool. And so in your report, you never wrote a ticket for the failing to maintain lanes, nor did you mention it in your affidavit of complaint.
It's going to be in my report, the narrative on the case.
Well, this was the probable cause, and this was the immediate review. So is it
Sustained. Ask a question.
okay? Is it a reason why you didn't mention it in your affidavit of complaint?
The affidavit only shows PC for why we arrested you. It doesn't state in there why I had to stop you. It just shows in there why I arrested you. And in regards to you maintaining a lane, that goes back to the DUI, which does not go on the complaint. That goes on the traffic ticket.
Well, you never mentioned anything of that nature in the ticket. So I was just wondering, is that protocol for you not to explain in the affidavit of complaint?
It's going to be in the report.
Okay, and you say you had a body camera on again, that's correct?
Sustain the objection. Ask your next question.
Okay, and so was it possible for any of the drugs to be the passenger?
It was all in your control. It was within your reach, behind your seat, and then you had drugs in your right front pocket.
I said, was it possible to be the passengers?
It could be possible, but the same drug that was in your right front pocket was also in that bag behind your seat.
What drug was in my right front pocket?
Cocaine.
And about how much was that?
You had a bag that was wrapped in your front pocket.
About how much?
I don't have the numbers on me right now. I have my report in front of me.
Okay. This is a copy of your report.
That's actually not my report. That's the affidavit complaint. My report's about 5 pages long.
Okay. And so you seized the vehicle for failing to maintain a lane. You said was any other traffic affected by the occurrence?
You were the only one on the road. You had a failure to maintain your lane several times and you drove over the curb.
What curve, actually?
The curb I stopped you at, I believe it was on Fairland.
Okay. Beyond at this time, I don't have any more questions.
Okay, is any redirect from the state?
No, Your Honor.
And the witness be
Yes,
excused.
Your Honor.
So you can go about your day.
Yes, sir.
Anything else from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Beecham?
Your Honor, there's no actual competent and substantial evidence in the affidavit of complaint, nor was it any ticket issued for the actual, failing to maintain a lane, so, I mean, being that it was immediately after the arrest, I don't see how he had probable cause to stop me. And I actually asked him for, the sheriff to verify that, hoping that he had a dash cam in his car.
Mr. Sullivan?
Whether a traffic ticket was issued or not is irrelevant.
Yeah, it was.
I have them on fine. There's probable cause for the arrest, and I believe that's what I'm here today to do as far as the adversarial preliminary hearing. So I found there's probable cause. We'll need another court hearing.
Do we have this transcribed?
You can file a motion to have it transcribed, yes, sir. We need to set another hearing. You understand, Mr. Beecham, at any point in time that you ask for an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you meet the financial requirements. You want to set up for another pretrial? Beecham?
Yes,
Let's set it for April 18th at
Here the prosecutor drops heavy legal authority, citing case law that dismantles sovereign citizen rhetoric from top to bottom. The courtroom becomes a direct clash between established law and fringe ideology. Every precedent the prosecutor cites reinforces that these theories have never survived in any courtroom.
23 CF 3817. Mr. Baker's present. The courtroom appropriately dressed with Mr. Meredith and Mr. Paul, State Attorney Mr. Pereira, and Mr. Sullivan are also present. Deputy Dexter, we have all the jurors present.
They are present. They are. We had two that were in the restroom, and they'll be brought upstairs.
All right, very good. All right, anything we need to take up prior to bringing the jurors in?
Yes, Your Honor. After meeting with Mr. Baker yesterday, he expressed an interest in representing himself today again. So I don't know if he wants to. I'm not sure whether he wants to represent himself or not, because the state is, the second thing I would address is the state's filed a motion in limine that we object to. Depending on the ruling there, I'm not sure if that will affect Mr. Baker's decision.
All right, well, let's take up the motion in limine right now. It's the motion in limine. Mr. Pereira, you filed it?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is moving, Your Honor, to exclude testimony of two things. First is testimony for the legality of his license plate, or any sort. My understanding is that Mr. Meredith intended to elicit testimony about the origin of the license plate. We feel that the probable cause is enough already with the rolling stop, that it would be irrelevant. The defendant is no longer in charge of any type of traffic offense. They're not legal defenses to the charge that he's brought with fleeing to eluding in the possession of drugs.
Your Honor, the state intends to introduce some body cam from Officer Elkins as in relation to the original stop. And Mr. Baker has his hands out of the window and is talking to the officer about what the reason for the stop is. There is a tag that's on there. In the edited version of the body cam, it is mentioned that the two reasons for the stop were rolling through a stop sign and either, I can't remember if it was bad tag or no tag or whatever. But I think that it's important for the jury to understand the origin of this tag and what it represented. I, as an officer of the court and under the rules of the bar, I don't believe I could argue that it is a valid tag, but I think the origin of it is important for the.
What, it's not a valid tag. What does it matter what origin or the origin of this?
Well,
I'm not going down that road, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Baker felt that it was a legal tag.
Was it issued from the Department of Motor Vehicles from the state of Florida
It was
or
not.
the tax collector's office? It's not a legal tag.
If you'd like to see a photocopy of what it is.
My tag is from the deal. It's a DOT number because my tag belongs to my trust. My DOT number is valid. So why wouldn't the tag be?
Nope, not going in. We're not going to talk about it.
Can I put anything on the record?
You can put it on the record, but I'm telling you, I'm not, anything that's not a legal tag from the state of, from one of the states of the United States, or I guess.
It is. You got the information yesterday. He emailed you the information where the tag came from and what was going on with the tag.
Your Honor,
I can't have a custom tag.
Let Mr. Meredith make your argument, sir, please.
Your Honor, the number that's contained on the tag, the 412-5492, is a Department of Transportation number that is assigned to Mr. Baker. I have gone on their website. You can search that number, and when you do, it comes up with Mr. Baker's name, his address, and all his information. Now, depending on what we're allowed to do, his testimony would be as how he had obtained this and had gone through and got it from a third party in New Jersey. And because it had the Department of Transportation logo, which is the actual logo from the Department of Transportation, and it had his actual identifying number from the United States Department of Transportation, that he could display it.
Is it a legal valid tag? Can you make that argument?
Yes.
I cannot.
Okay, it's not coming in.
When you run the tag number,
It's not coming in, it's not on the record, and also the state's not charged him with a improper tag.
Exactly. I don't even have a ticket for anything that they quote.
This section shows the judge carefully drawing the line. The defense wants the jury to hear the defendant's mindset, but the judge blocks any sovereign or private citizen terminology as irrelevant. Still, he allows testimony about fear and perception, creating a narrow path the defense must navigate without slipping into banned arguments.
Not what you're going to trial for. All right, Mr. Meredith and Mr. Pereira. Anything else on that, Mr. Meredith?
I think that's paragraph 1, but there's a second paragraph.
Right.
You know, there's a second paragraph on there. The state is looking to exclude any testimony in terms of defenses related to the defendant's status as a sovereign and or a private citizen. I like to point the court to controlling authority in Barber versus Bay County Sheriff's Office jail facility. For the record, the site of that is 308 3rd Southern. It starts on page 254. I like to quote from this case, Your Honor, that says the sovereign citizen theory has no basis in the law, and parties that make it are in danger of court sanctions. And to our knowledge, no court in this country has ever found sovereign citizens to have any merit. They're relying on the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals decision in the United States versus Beneby. For the record, that's 654, 3rd Federal 753, where it talks about where it's just not specifically about sovereign citizens, but encapsulates all of the arguments there. So regardless of an individual's claimed status of descent, be it as a sovereign citizen, a secured party creditor, or a flesh and blood human being, that person is not beyond the jurisdiction, and the court is correct in rejecting all of those claims. However, they are presented and they should be rejected summarily.
Mr. Meredith, your response?
We're not raising it as a defense, but I believe that Mr. Baker testifies for the jury to understand what was in his mind on October 7th of this past year. They need to understand his ideology, his understanding of what he was required to do and how he could live his life. It's not, again, I cannot raise it to a defense, but I think we need to talk about what he felt in his mind.
If it's not a defense, why is it relevant?
For the jury to understand what was going on in his mind during the stop and
Well, proper what you think the testimony might be.
It goes back partially to the tag, but he had thought he had registered the tag properly through the United States Department of Transportation.
Mr. Baker, that's enough.
He had a license that wasn't from the state of Florida. It was international license, but his license was suspended in the state of Florida. But when he was stopped, again, he was trying to ask the officer what was the purpose for the stop. The officer, immediately upon exiting his vehicle, prior to any fleeing, unholstered his service weapon, pointed it at the defendant, and began yelling at him to turn the car off, turn the car off. And after 30 to 40 seconds, fearing for his life, Mr. Baker left.
What does that have to do with being a private citizen or a sovereign citizen or anything like that?
In his mind, the basis of the state is now going forward on as they roll through a stop sign, which we dispute. But he does not think that he did not stop, and he was trying to ask the reason for the stop, and he didn't get any answer. He just got a gun being pointed at him with an aggressive officer.
I mean, I understand all that, and I think all that may be relevant to that. I mean, you make a, but what about a private citizen or a sovereign citizen? What does that have any relevance?
Well, he doesn't consider himself a sovereign citizen.
A private citizen.
It's just his mindset as to why he would act in the manner that he did, and the subsequent actions that he took to get out of what he perceived as danger.
But I understand that. I mean, I don't know that that's not irrelevant. I mean, I don't know I say that might be relevant. But what about the private citizen and that's the issue right now, according to the state.
If we couch it in terms of his fear, without saying sovereign citizen, private citizen, I think that's fair.
Is there any objection to that?
No, Your Honor.
I mean, if he testifies that the gun was pulled and he was in fear, I mean, that would, I don't know why the jury couldn't consider that, but as far as a private citizen or any other couch, I'm not allowing any of that in. I don't think it's relevant.
Well, and we weren't using it as a defense, just for.
I understand, but I'm not. We're not going down that road at all. But now, if there's testimony that what you've couched, I mean, I think that is relevant.
And I understand the court's ruling. I'm concerned that with my client being able to abide by those and being able to control his answers.
Okay. Well, let me just say that if when there's an objection made, that I will come sidebar a couple of times, and then if I have to, it'll be in front of the juror, my rulings and why my rulings are what they are. Speaks to the microphone, you can speak directly into the microphone, and Mr. Meredith, you may inquire whenever you're ready.
Mr. Baker, if you would tell the jury your full name.
Lee Baker. Lee Forzon Baker.
You're a junior?
Yes.
Now, where in Bay County do you live?
Lynn Haven.
Now, how many felony convictions do you have?
8.
I want to direct your attention back to October 7th of this past year. Did you see Miss Ivy?
Yes.
And who is she to you?
Just someone I'm intimate with.
How long have you known her?
About 2.5 years.
Is it routine for you to see each other and go places together?
Yes.
All right. Now, on that, we're talking about October 7th. That's early in the morning. It was the night of October 6th into the 7th. About what time did you go to see Miss Ivy?
I say about 12. I got over there about 11:30, 12 o'clock.
And what was the point of you visiting her that morning?
I was going to get the key because they were going out of town. So I ended up hanging out for a little while. We ended up watching a movie, having sex and stuff like that. Then we left the house.
When you're leaving her house, where were you heading?
I was actually headed to see a friend of mine. I was going to see a friend of mine, take her with me. We was actually got to go hang over there for a little while before we went back to her house.
Now, so at some point in the morning, you were prepared to leave the trailer park and go see your friend.
Yes.
Now, did you notice a Springfield police officer there in the trailer park?
No, I didn't.
At some point, did you see him?
Yes. Once he got behind us and got ready to put his lights on.
Okay. And was that in the trailer park or out on?
Out of the trailer park.
I'm sorry.
Out of the trailer park.
Okay. Now, is there a stop sign going from the trailer park out onto Everett Avenue?
Yes.
Did you stop at that stop sign?
Yes, I did.
Now, early that morning, was there any traffic on Everett Avenue or in the trailer park?
No.
And approximately where were you when you noticed the officer behind you?
When I turned on Everett Avenue, I noticed it was an officer because how close he had got up behind us right before he turned his lights on, and I made a left.
Okay. And that's the left onto the 6th?
6th Street, whichever one of those. I can't remember which street it was exactly, but I know I made a left.
Now, you didn't stop there on 6th?
No.
And why was that?
Now, I kept going because I was trying to get somewhere safe, actually. But I wanted to get where there was a lot of traffic at. So that's why I really went to East Avenue, so I can get on the main highway somewhere where traffic is going by and people can see.
The defendant takes the stand and paints a calm narrative of the night, visiting someone he's intimate with, leaving late, stopping at signs, and avoiding dark areas. He attempts to show normal behavior, setting himself up as a reasonable driver rather than someone preparing for a chase. It's a strategic attempt to reset the jury's perspective.
Launched today on 6th Street, you go by Craft and there's a stop sign there.
Yes.
Did you stop at that stop sign?
Yes, just like we seen on the video. You can clearly see my brake lights at every stop sign.
And there's a stop sign on 6th and East. Did you stop there?
Yes, sir.
You did pull over on East Avenue.
Yes, sir.
Now, was there any traffic there?
No, sir, none at all.
Were there any street lights on 6th or East until you pulled over?
There were a couple, but it wasn't nothing like. I just didn't feel comfortable pulling over in a residential neighborhood in front of people's houses. So I really was trying to get on East Avenue where traffic was, hoping someone else was going to come.
And How fast were you going during this period?
10, 15 miles an hour.
And where you pulled over, it didn't look like there was much traffic there either.
No.
Why did you pull over there as opposed to continuing?
Because
further?
I couldn't go no further, because if I keep going any further, it was going to turn into a flee into a lose. I didn't want any of that to happen. So I just really pulled on over to get the situation over with. When I seen that no other cars and stuff were coming, I just pulled over.
When you pulled over, tell us what happened.
When I pulled over, I seen the officer jump out with his gun. Well, at first I had rolled my window down. I had my license, registration, everything ready to present to the officer, because that's what I'm thinking. That's what type of stop it's going to be. But when I see he had his gun drawn, telling me to get out of the car, I done been pulled over several times before by the police. I've never been demanded to get out of my vehicle, to turn my vehicle off. The officer just pulled over. He tell me why he pulled me over, and he asked me for my license and registration. So being that this guy had his gun and demanding that I turn my car off and all of this, I'm like, dang, what's going on? Why? How? And that's why I asked him what crime has been committed. By me knowing a little bit about the law, I know some type of crime has to be committed, or I have to have some type of warrant. Somebody's life got to.
Now the prosecutor goes on the offensive. He corners the defendant with speed, past convictions, and his decision to keep driving despite knowing it was police behind him. The defendant keeps leaning on fear, but each question pushes him into contradictions. It's a powerful cross-exam where the facts tighten around him.
But how long do you think it was that he was pointing it at you?
Well, the video was actually edited, so.
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Move to strike.
I say about, we were interacting, the conversation that lasted for about 4 or 5 minutes, back and forth.
From the moment that he gets out until you leave, where is this guy?
Pointed at my vehicle.
What were you feeling at that point?
The only thing I was thinking about, if he's doing this, ain't no telling what else he's gonna do, if he really gonna shoot or not.
So
Here the prosecutor uses the pursuit map to dismantle the defendant's entire searching for safety defense. Every ignored major intersection becomes evidence, showing he had countless safe places to stop. The logic leaves little room for escape. And that wraps our breakdown. Don't forget to like the video, hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.
point, pulled over, you stopped. Why did you leave at that point?
Because I feared for my life. If the officer would have just walked up, asked me for my license and registration, I wouldn't have went nowhere. I would have gave him everything that he needed, and I would have complied with the whole thing. It's just that the way that the situation had happened, I had never been in a situation like that before. So I panicked. First thing thinking in my mind, like, especially over the last 7 years, look how many people been killed at traffic
Objection, Your Honor.
Stay. Where were you trying to go?
I was trying to go to the Bay County Sheriff's Office because we couldn't get them on the phone, and my mind was so messed up to call 911 to have them dispatch a sheriff's officer over there.
And where is the Bay County Sheriff's Office located?
On Highway 77.
In what town?
In Lynn Haven.
When you eventually have to stop, had you gotten to the Sheriff's Department by that time?
No, sir.
Now, the deputy hires pulled in behind you at some point on East Avenue. Did you ever see the Sheriff's Department vehicle in the pursuit?
No, sir.
Once you stop around 3700 block of East Avenue, did you comply with the officer's orders at that time?
Yes, I was complying until I realized that the situation would seem like it was gonna get more out of hand.
Did you get out of the vehicle at his request?
Yes,
Like the video showed, you got out, put your hands up,
yes,
on the ground?
yes, I did.
If you hadn't felt threatened, would you have left?
I would not have had to left East Avenue. I had no reason to.
I don't have any other questions.
Drugs in your car would have been a good reason to flee, right?
No,
You didn't want to get caught with the drugs, did you? You knew you'd go to jail if you got caught with drugs, correct?
yeah, honestly, if I knew those drugs was in my car, I had plenty of time to throw it out the window if I was thinking like a convict trying to elude the police.
So, thinking like a convict, you're an 8-time convicted felon, correct?
Yes,
You first saw this officer before he even turned his lights on.
yes, once
So
he pulled up in.
You knew he was the police,
Yes,
and when he turned his lights on, turned his sirens on, you knew it was the police,
yes,
and you continued to drive on Everett,
yes,
and then on 6th,
yes,
you go through Craft,
yes,
you go all the way to East,
yes,
turn on to East,
yes,
continue to drive,
yes. So I got somewhere that I felt safe, like the law says that we're to do.
and there was no other traffic on
No,
East Ave either,
no,
but you still felt comfortable enough to pull over there.
because I was not trying to escalate the situation and get it treated like how it got treated anyway.
And your testimony today is that you sat there for 4 to 5 minutes
Yes,
on the side of East Avenue.
yes,
4 to 5 minutes.
4 to 5 minutes conversing with the officer back and forth.
All right. And then eventually you take off
Yes,
and you are going over 100 miles an hour.
no,
Your testimony is you were not driving over 100 miles an hour.
no. I took
You
off.
saw that.
I seen the same.
Mr. Baker, let me finish my question. You saw the dash camera that showed the officer speedometer.
That was the officer's speedometer. I took off.
It was the officer speedometer and it was over 100 miles an hour. Correct?
I seen his.
You were
Yes.
driving in front of him.
Yes.
He didn't pass you, did he?
No.
So obviously you were going faster than he was, right?
Yes. I
So if
took
he was
off.
going 100 miles an hour, you had to have been going at least 100 miles an hour or faster, right?
No. He didn't even come right behind me. If his dash cam would work, like he's saying that it didn't, you would actually get to see exactly
Judge,
what
not
happened.
responsive.
Sustain.
So your testimony is you did not want to flee and elude, but you took off and fled this officer at over 100 miles an hour.
You keep saying I fled over 100 miles an hour. I did leave the scene and flee for my life. Yes, I did.
Now let's talk about that. You're in fear for your life. Now eventually you wreck the car and you keep driving
Yes.
and you get out of the car and the officers are telling you to get on the ground.
Yes.
Now you would agree with me that the officers don't know who you are at this point, correct?
Yes.
They don't know whether you're armed at this point.
Yes.
They don't know what you have in the car at this point.
Yes.
And you would agree with me that you, despite being in fear for your life, at one point get off the ground and reach back into the car, right?
Yes.
You would agree with me that that action, that officer that's standing there has no idea why you're going back into that car.
Yes.
What you're reaching for, whether you're reaching for a gun.
Yes.
You would agree that that is the most dangerous thing that you could do if you were truly in fear for your life.
That has nothing to do with the initial situation and what put my life at fear. That situation, when I reached back in my car and that officer had his gun on me, just like you seen, I complied with what he said.
And that's bullshit too, because when they finally pulled you over and had their weapons drawn on you, you decided to go back in your car. You're lucky the officers didn't have you take the room temperature challenge right there on the side of the road.
Madam Clerk, if we could have the screens, I'm going to pull up the state's demonstrative map that was used earlier. So looking at the map here where Everett Avenue is, this is a residential area. This is where you do not want to pull over, correct?
No.
Go over to East Ave, go up, and you ultimately pull over here on East Ave just below 7th Court, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Because you want to be in a more populated area.
Yes.
Okay. And then you take off and drive north on East Ave.
Yes.
You come up here to 11th Street. 11th Street's a pretty big intersection. It's a pretty major road in Bay County, correct?
Yes.
You don't stop at 11th Ave, you continue to drive.
No, I told you I was trying to get to Bay County Sheriff's Office on Highway 7.
All right, Mr. Baker, we'll keep going here. You get up here to 98. 98's a major road here in Bay County,
Yes, it
and
is.
you don't stop at 98, the intersection 98 either. In fact, you blow through a red light, keep going.
Yes, I was. Yes, I did.
Keep going north. We get up here to 231. That's an even bigger intersection than 11th and 98.
Yes, again, I was
Yeah,
trying to
go
get
through
to
the red
Highway
light.
77.
Don't stop. Right?
I was trying to get to the police to protect me.
77's west of this, isn't it?
No,
Pull out. Highway 77, the left of the screen. That'd be to the west of the direction you're going, which is north, right?
yeah, as soon as I get down to what's the name, I can make a left and go right to the sheriff's department.
Could have done that on 98, right? Taking a left on 98, going to 77, straight shot up north from there, right?
That's not how my mind was thinking. My mind was so discombobulated. I'm just trying to get to the sheriff's office, somewhere that's safe.
With a bunch of drugs in your car.
I'm not worried about the drugs. I didn't even know the drugs was there, if you want to be honest with me, but I'm not going to say how the drugs got inside my car.
Any redirect?
Mr. Baker, the fact is you were not armed at any time that night, were you?
No,
And no weapons were found in your vehicle, were there?
no.
And the officer is traveling at 121 miles per hour, but he catches up to you.
Yes,
So to catch up to you, you have to be going less than that.
yes, most definitely.
No further questions.
Any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Baker, you can have a seat. Mr. Meredith, may I call your next witness?
Your Honor, the defense was rested this time.
Okay, so the defense is rested. The jury has gone out to deliberate, and after about 20 minutes, they returned with their glorious verdict.
Mr. Meredith, Mr. Baker, if you'll rise. Madam Clerk, if you'll publish the verdict.
In the Circuit Court of the 14th Judicial Circuit in and for Bay County, Florida, State of Florida versus Lee Forzon Baker. Verdict: we, the jury, find as follows. Count 1, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty of possession of cocaine. Count 2, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty of possession of methamphetamine. Count 3, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty of fleeing to elude a law enforcement officer, high speed, reckless. Count 4, we, the jury, find the defendant